this is Munson with Munson Music. I'm going to talk about how you can play a song called I've Been Everywhere, Man by Johnny Cash. And it starts out with a really cool, like, kind of walked intro or arpeggio kind of idea around an E major chord. When we play E major, first finger goes the G string on the first fret, second finger on the A string, second fret, and third finger on the D string, second fret. And if you strum all those together, that sounds an E major chord, and it sounds really happy. And at the very beginning, you'll kind of hear where it's almost like you play every single note of that chord. And actually, through our intro, that's kind of a general theme, is kind of doing it down and kind of trying to get every note to sound. Although through the song, you may want to also think about using an E7 chord, where if you kind of lift off the third finger of the E major, it sounds an E7 chord. Or you could take the pinky and kind of add it in on the B string third fret, and kind of work that for your E7. And then from the E, we kind of end up doing almost 5 E's kind of on our intro. And then we go to an A major chord. When we play A major, first finger goes to the D on the second fret, second finger on the G string, second fret, third finger on the B string, second fret. And if you strum all those together, that sounds an A major chord, and it sounds really happy. Now you'll also kind of hear through the tune, you might dig on kind of lifting off the second finger and kind of making that an A7 chord, or you can readjust the fingers and kind of do the pinky on the high E on the third fret, and kind of give that A7 a little bit more bite. And then from the A we go back to our E, and then we do another E, and then we go to a B7 chord. When we play B7, first finger goes to the D on the first fret, second finger on the A string, second fret, third finger on the G string, second fret, and the pinky on the high E string, second fret. And if you strum the A string to the high E string, that sounds a B7 chord that sounds really nasty. And then from the B7 we go back to get an E major, kind of at the very end. So through that whole intro you got kind of that big E major, and then we got Johnny talking. We have E, 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 A, and then we're back to E, E, and then we got a B7, B7, E, and then you hear this cool little kickoff where you can kind of play second on the A string, and then fourth on the A, and then first fret on the D, and kind of lead into our first chorus. So we got kind of a B, C sharp, D sharp note. And now strumming wise, through the chorus and actually through the song, you could kind of work kind of almost like a 4 down idea, kind of a E, 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 A, A, E, E, B, through that chorus part. And sometimes Johnny will kind of throw in an extra E at the end, actually. And he's very good, especially in live recordings, actually, here where he kind of really works off the audience and kind of listens for them for where to start the next verse, the next chorus. So especially if you're playing it out live, you may want to throw in some extra E's at the end. And then from there, then we'd be going into our verse part. You could kind of work that same way, kind of E, 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 A, A, E, E, B7, B7, E, so a little variation of our chorus. Now, one of my favorite strum patterns for a 4/4 like this, though, is down, down, up, up, down, up. And this would be a really fast pace, but if you took the E and just kind of tried that a lot, you'd have down, down, up, down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down, 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 up. So we tried that through that next chorus, we'd have E, verse. Now something else that I think about adding to the song though is bass notes, and a lot of times on that first down of the down, down, up, down, up, you could throw in a bass note for the chord. So on the E you have low E for the bass, on the A you have the A for the bass, a bass, down, up, down, but on the B7 you'd have the A for the bass. So we could kind of try that next verse where we have a bass down, up, down, up, and then we have E, actually, something else you may want to think about is doing this as more of kind of a traditional country feel. And normally what a country bass player will do is kind of play what's called the root of the chord, which is what we're using for our bass right now, and then mix that up with something called the fifth. So on an E chord, you'd have E, F, G, A, B is what we call the fifth, and that B note would be on the A string 2nd fret. So while you're holding the E chord, you could kind of do the low E string for your bass, and then a down or a down up, and then do the A string for the fifth, and then do another down up. So it's kind of alternating basses on the chord. You'd be going E string bass, down up, A bass, down up, E bass, down up, A bass, down up, E bass, down up, A bass, down up. And we could get that same sound on the A chord by going from the A string to the E string. And on the B7 chord, you can kind of take the 2nd finger and move him from the A string 2nd fret to the low E 2nd fret. Kind of get that B note to an F sharp note kind of coming out and get that same sound. So we tried that idea through our next verse. Then we'd have E. Through our next chorus, and then we have E, our next verse. Now there are also some cool little bass walks you could throw in for this too. And on your E chord, on the last E before you go to the A chord, you may want to do kind of a bass down up, and then play low E on the 2nd fret for an F sharp note, and then 4th fret on low E for a G sharp note to help point to the A chord. So you have kind of an E down up 2 4 kind of leads to the A chord, and on the A that kind of leads back to the E. Kind of reverse that idea, kind of an A bass down up, and then the 4 on the low E to the 2nd fret on the low E to the open E, and kind of lead into that. And then from the E to the B7, then you could do the E with the bass down up, and then go to open A, and then 1st fret on the A to lead into the B7 chord. So it's kind of like a little bass leading, kind of a bass down up, open A, 1 2, to kind of lead into that B7 with the bass. Tried the kind of some bass leading through the song. We could try that through our next verse. And we have our E. 2 4 leads to A, and then 4 2 leads to E. Open A 1 2 to the B7, and then you're back to E. Through our next chorus, we'd have E, then we go into kind of our outro vamp. And we hear this cool little background lick, actually. It's kind of 2nd fret on the A string, 1st fret on the A, open A, and then 3rd fret on the low E string, which could actually end up being a B7 lead actually to an E chord. It's kind of that 2 1 0 3 E. So you could kind of, on that outro, it's just a lot of the E's actually, and you could kind of work that with that country lick, kind of country feel, or bass down, down, or downs, or down, down. But that's the basics of how you can strum through I've Been Everywhere, man, by Johnny Cash. So good luck.